What we do here is go back.
All right, everybody. Thank you for coming right back to us. Episode number 137 of the Minding Your Business podcast. I'm your host, Champ Ron. Entrepreneurship, real estate, trending news. There's no business like minding your own. Folks in MYB community, we're going through some unprecedented times, and I've shared this now on the last few podcasts. Please be safe. Please be mindful. Listen to the health experts. But just because we have social distancing does not mean we have social disregard. And I'll say that again. Just because we have social distancing does not mean we have social disregard. We are still human beings. We are still a human race, no matter what side of tracks you come from, no matter what your look is in the mirror, no matter what your views are on particular subjects or how things should be run. We're all in this together. And now's a great time for you to spend reflecting, spend time with your family, and really dig into what's really important. And I think a lot of times we lose sight of that. But subscribe, like the podcast, wherever you get your pods, and you can check us out at themybpodcast.com. A quick announcement before we get into the meat of our podcast today. Brand Pod, look for the new website. It's going to be brandyourpod.com. I have had C-suite executives within several Midwestern banks, as well as business owners, some folks that I've banked in the past, people that within my network, that I'm fortunate that have looked at my podcast and that sort of thing and my experience in that, and they found enough value in it to make suggestions pretty strongly of me assisting them with building their platform. So with Brand Pod, I'll be making a formal announcement here soon, but I just wanted to share with you, MYB, that it'll be coming out. I'll have the website up here within the week, and I will make myself and my expertise and experience available to you to help you launch your podcast. Listen, in these new times that we're going to evolve into as people operate more remotely and from a more virtual sense, one thing that is pandemic free is podcasting, right? And your customers and your prospects are going to be more remote. They're not walking into physical places near as much in the future, which we'll get back to. But even if there's a small percentage drop in that, that could be a big percentage drop in opportunities to get your brand and your business in front of your target audience. What better way than to be on their phone all the time, 24/7, with your own podcast that you host and own, or I host for you, but you own outright, and you own the content, and you own your own voice. And so I want to be able to help you amplify your voice to your customer today and in the future. And so more content and communication will come out with that. Of course, we are powered by the Binge Podcast Network at onabinge.com. All right, episode 137, let's get right into it. I am very excited. And once again, Liv, who is a great friend of the podcast, has connected me with someone who, even just in a short conversation, I've got great admiration for. I love her spirit. I love her thought, or her calmness around just doing business in this environment. And she's in the Southern Miami area. And so I want to welcome here, MYB community, Brenda Hill-Riggins here to the podcast. She's a co-owner of MARS Contractors, Inc., and doing some really good things there in the Southern Miami area and beyond. So Brenda, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm so excited. And so let's dig right into it, because we've got people here listening that want to learn some more and get a good word from you. And so
okay, let's do this.
Let's start by just tell us who you are, Brenda, and how you got your start. I know we all have our personal and professional stories, and I'm sure that's the case with yourself. And so we'd love to hear just who you are.
Okay, so again, I'm Brenda L. Hill-Riggins. I am CEO of MARS Contractors, Inc. It's a family-owned and operated construction company here in South Florida. We have been in business over 28 years. My husband,
Wow.
Marcus, is a state general contractor, plumbing contractor, mechanical and underground utilities contractors. We have done projects like the Tampa Bay Stadium,
Oh,
American
wow.
Airlines Arena, Marlins Ballpark. We work for the Department of Defense, school board, a lot of state and local agencies like the Department of Water and Sewer. And right now we're doing a lot in the hospital space, dealing mainly with Jackson Trust.
Okay.
So how we got started in business, I met my husband in a grocery store, ladies. In the grocery
Oh, there you
store.
go, ladies. Grocery store, at that grocery shop. Now, he wasn't buying toilet paper up, was he?
No, he was buying a watermelon. Actually, I was buying the watermelon, and
There you go.
he happened to pay attention. He said he knew I was not from Miami, the way I took time to look at the vegetables.
Okay.
So that's a tip, ladies. Take your time.
There you go. You never know.
So
Get
that
good
was
fresh pickings there at the grocery store.
So we are in the process of not only building a construction company, but we are building a dynasty. My personal
Yes.
goal when I was 27 was to build a dynasty. And the way that dynasty now looks is, in addition to the construction company, we have a farm business in New Jersey, South Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, where we grow. It's a vegetable farm. We have a nonprofit called MARS Community Development Corp. We are launching a project next month on the farm with returning citizens. They will live on the farm, they will work on the farm, and with the products, produce that we grow, we will sell back to the state of New Jersey.
Awesome.
Yeah, we are very involved in our families as well, conducting family workshops as well as doing the research needed to understand where we all come from.
Yeah.
Construction is what I do, but it's not who I am.
Mm.
Who I am is a vision surrogate. And in that space, I help others to give birth to their dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you put that. How and for many of us, I think in these unprecedented times, Brenda, we all are learning a good lesson in that. Hopefully, that we all are of who we are versus what we do. And I think a lot of times we blend those two, and we run into some issues
Absolutely.
as a result. And so let me ask you this, Brenda, because you talked a lot about family, how you met your husband, and then you all going into business together, which is phenomenal. Tell me about the importance of family to your upbringing and to where you are today, as a business owner, as a wife, a community advocate. Did that come from your upbringing in your younger days in your home?
I think I am the fourth of 11 children.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like I'm the oldest. I feel that, most of the responsibility for the family, that's a personal feeling that I have. I feel that I'm responsible for the whole family. I feel because I was given much. And when I say I was given much, I mean abilities, gifts,
Yes.
and talents that wasn't just for me, it was for the entire family. My
Absolutely.
grandmother told me, she said, you the Joseph of the family.
Mm.
So it is your responsibility when you make it to help the entire family. And I have a heart for family, I have that heart for family.
Yeah.
So building the company and growing our wealth, it's always been about the entire family.
Yes.
So as you become strong financially, spiritually, emotionally, or whatever, you have to make sure that helping the family to grow and become sustainable is part of your overall plan. And that's why I say it's more about building a dynasty, because dynasty, when you think dynasty, you think about equipping the children and the rest of the family, positioning them so that they too can be a part of that experience and understand how to care for the vision.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other piece of that too, Brenda, is that, with a dynasty or a legacy, you build something that then carries on beyond
Yeah, yeah,
yourself,
that's
that
right.
allows families to then be edified,
That's
right?
right.
So
It
that
outlives you.
future
Yeah,
generations have platforms in which to rise from,
that's right.
versus everybody. A lot of times in our families, we're guilty of this mindset of everybody's got to start over. I had to
Right,
get mine, and we,
right.
we feel that that builds the character, which it does. However, tough times are going to come no matter what kind of platform you've got. But if we do a better job in our families, like you're doing, of equipping those next generations to not have to start over all the time, but
That's
be able to then, each time kind of level up, not so much in material things, but in the
the
mindset.
mindset. Yes,
Yes.
that mindset,
Yeah,
helping them to
absolutely.
understand. Yeah, and also setting an example that the greatest reward is not the amount of money you make, but it's the
Hmm.
amount of peace you have.
Mm,
When there's and there, I have found that there can only be peace when there is balance between the mind, body, and spirit, and you're able to pay your bills and all of those good things. It's not about trying to outdo the next person. Me and my husband and I, we are very low key.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I think we work so hard we don't have time to go out on the weekend. I think that's but
Right.
you learn when you work hard to make your money, you learn how to appreciate a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely you do.
yeah.
Absolutely you do. So, Mars Contractors. So, why real estate? Why contracting
Well,
for you?
when I met my husband, I asked Marcus what was his goal, what was his dream. Um, I guess at heart, I've always been coaching people, so inquisitive about why they feel they're here on this planet and what it is that they want to do and how do they see themselves doing that thing. And he said to me that he was working as a plumber. At, actually, he was in an apprenticeship program, and he was making about $15.16 an hour. And I said, well, what do you want to do? In my mind, it's like, it got to be more than this, right? But he said he wanted to own his own plumbing company. So I said, I can help you do that.
Mm,
I can show you how to make $1 million.
okay.
And this was in 1992. And so I said, you go ahead and you study for your state exam, and I will incorporate the business and we'll take it from there. Well, his license, he took the state exam, and his license came 3 days before Hurricane Andrew hit.
Hmm.
And needless to say, there was construction opportunity all around us
Oh,
because it was
without
at the
question.
time.
Because that was
Yeah.
I mean, thinking back now, I was young during that time, Brenda,
Okay.
but from what I remember the news coverage on that, even
Yes,
as a boy, and that was a big one for down there, wasn't it?
that was the big one for the entire country at the time. It
Yeah.
was the largest. It was the largest, or I should say, the worst hurricane in U.S. history as of 1992.
Okay.
And so it was total devastation around us. And so we launched a business, and I guess the rest is history. Um, Life has been good. God has been good. And Miami's been very good to us. And we try to be good to Miami, which is not hard.
Yeah.
Where else in the world would you rather be than Miami? That's a plug for our tourist industry. So y'all come on down.
Right, no doubt about it. And I've got some good friends, got a good fraternity brother that's native of Miami, so he
Wow.
always it makes no bones about speaking very highly of the city.
Yes,
So,
yes,
and I've had a chance to come down and visit as one of those tourists myself,
yes. It's a
and so
beautiful
definitely
city.
enjoyed my time there. And
Good, good.
so the areas, Brenda, that you guys work in, are you doing a lot of new construction? Are you doing rehabs type
Uh,
deals? Or, what's kind of the main
well,
core of what you do?
since 1992, we've focused on commercial work,
Okay.
and so it has always been commercial. Um, and we focus on the area of mechanical, which is air conditioning, heating.
Okay.
and plumbing.
Yeah.
And so, so that's been the core of our work.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And so you acquired your business how? Is it mostly word of mouth? Do you do some advertising kind of down the area? A
We
little bit of all the above?
Well, when we first got started, we got certified and made sure certified as a minority-owned firm, which
Okay.
allowed us somewhat of a niche opportunity to
Sure.
get on some of these larger projects. And so after the first two or three, and once you perform and show that you have the capacity to participate on these type of high profile jobs, they come after you after that. So we've never had to put money in marketing or any type of advertisement other than making sure we could be found, like on the government databases and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Excellent. And so your staff, how many people do you employ? I guess you have, subcontractors. I'm not sure if you work that route, or do you have kind of everybody in house, or?
Yeah, we are usually most of the projects we are on. We come aboard as a subcontractor.
Sure.
Most of the projects are over 50 million that we participate on as a
Okay.
subcontractor. We are also union, so we have that union workforce that we are able to get the guys as we need them.
Okay.
Right now we have about 28, and that might be different by tomorrow because of the situation. But so we are able to pull guys and back and forth from the unions. We also recently started an apprenticeship trade academy. We have our own registered apprenticeship program through the Florida Department of Education. And so we launched that. We've done a soft launch, and we're looking to really grow that over the next few months.
Yep. Excellent. Excellent. And so, I was reading, Brenda, about an award that you won, that you guys won, that came from none other than the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. And
Yes.
so I know that people would be interested in kind of hearing about that award and how that came about.
Well, someone nominated us for an award. It's really regarding um, one's participation in the community, regarding volunteering.
Sure.
And of course, we have the nonprofit, which we've done a lot of work. So we were recognized for the work that we do in the community by way of volunteering. I received another award from, well, it really wasn't an award, it was a recognition from um, President Clinton. And that
Okay.
was really more special because it was something that was personal and individual, in regards to a project that I did and presented to him. And he wrote me a letter back. I met with him after the meeting. He wrote me a letter back. Now that was really special to me
Sure.
because it was more personal.
Yeah.
Yes. Hmm.
No, absolutely. And so, well, definitely congratulations on both awards. Definitely sounds like they were well deserved. And you spoke about them being tied to volunteering.
Yeah.
And so let's go down that path, because we've talked about professionally from the business standpoint. But it definitely sounds like you got a great heart, Brenda, for working in the community. So, talk about how your nonprofit impacts the community, and kind of with everything that you and your husband are doing, how it all ties back to giving back.
Well, the Bible tells us, to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes.
And coming from a big family, I definitely understand the need um, to work within the community. And that's where my heart is. So it's not hard for us to support what our church is doing, what other organizations we are associated. We have membership with the NAACP, lifetime membership. We have lifetime membership with the National Association of Negro Business and Professional Women, with our local Chamber of Commerce. We have to stay connected to understand and stay in touch with our business community. But in
Yes.
doing so, um, all of our services should be about supporting the community at large. So how
Yeah.
do you not know that when there's a problem, who's going to come to the rescue?
Mm,
We must do it. That's what business owners are. That's your corporate responsibility to do that.
sure.
You know, you
Yeah.
have your individual, thing that you do, but that's your corporate responsibility to participate and to help.
Absolutely. And I like to refer to as our fiduciary duty
Yeah,
for all of us that are in business, that are business owners and things like that, to rise to the
right,
occasion and be leaders
right.
when there's a need in the community that we serve. And so, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely with you there.
and it's really fun to do.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It helps you to be who you're supposed to be. The feeling that I get from volunteering and from supporting the local churches and other groups, I, I I know at the end of the day I've made God smile, and that's what I work for.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And so our guest today, Brenda L. Hill-Riggins, here on the Minding Your Business podcast, episode number 147. So, Brenda, as you talked about volunteerism and talked about the community, of course, we all know what's going on today with the COVID-19 or the coronavirus pandemic that is, kind of gripped the world in a lot of cases in fear and uncertainty, and it's impacted, commerce to say the least, and it's impacted how we all are operating these days. And one of the challenges with that, obviously, is in the uncertainty of it's difficult to plan and to assess what's tomorrow's going to hold, right?
Right.
Can you speak to us just from your experience? You mentioned, in your region of the country having to deal with obstacles and deal with challenges, whether they're weather related or even beyond that. So, what's kind of your take and thoughts on it, and what's kind of a good word you could share here with the listeners, from your perspective and your experience as it relates to our current.
Well, I'm going to say this. I had I had a feeling that this was going to happen last year.
Okay,
So for me, I started preparing last year. For I knew something was going to happen that would cause fear,
sure.
and I knew it would affect our borders. I didn't know
Mm,
what it was, but I knew something was going to happen.
yeah,
So oftentimes we got to learn how to prepare before things happen. We got to be proactive. And
true.
being here in South Florida dealing with hurricanes, we have learned to do that. But I took my being proactive a bit higher than normal. And some of the things that I did, first of all, let me address where we are right now, because it has now happened.
Sure.
Some of the things that people can do, I think it's to just try to work on changing your mindset.
Mm,
We have to go back to basics. Just think going back to basics.
yes.
We all needed to take a pause. This is a good time to reassess your life plan, not just a business plan, but a life plan. Make a list of where you are, and you got to be truthful about that. It's a good time to pull your credit report and
Hmm.
come up with a plan on how you're going to clean it up.
Right.
It's a good time to clean your house.
Yes.
I was talking to a young lady and she was like, I don't know what to do. I said, just clean up. Just
Right.
start cleaning up your house
Hmm.
a mess. But anyway, start cleaning your house. Start purging. Clean your
Yes.
car. A good time to look at your checking account and get it straight and set some new goals. Some things that you haven't had time to do, now you have the time. So make time to just get your life in order and think going back to basics. Now that I have employees, so we first are trying to be mindful of the fact that they live differently than we do.
Sure.
Their worries are not the same as ours. So as a small company, trying to stay mindful of that, is somewhat of a task, in all honesty.
Hmm.
Um, whereof I'm sitting here making plans on how I'm going to make some more money, even in this
Right. Right.
even in this environment. What can I do to change things. How can I take advantage of the new opportunities as a business person?
Yes.
Correct? As a
Yeah,
business
exactly.
person. And we usually miss that boat, because let me tell you, if they're spending $1 trillion, somebody's getting a contract. So we need to understand who's getting those contracts, who's letting the contracts.
Exactly.
Correct?
Very
Yeah.
true.
So,
Very
yeah.
true.
So I'm sitting down. What about investment? What stocks are going up?
Mhm.
Right?
Right.
You need to good time to look at your 401k. You better be looking at it every day.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
just look at it today. So looking at opportunities like that with HUD has some new mandates and releasing money to the communities for those who have nonprofits. Go to those websites and check them out, because we're in a new environment. And so they're able to do things that they have not done before. So
Yes.
under farming, they're getting ready to release some new grant dollars. Why borrow money if they're going to release grant dollars?
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
Listen, I'm getting all my documents together. I will have them done by tomorrow. If there's a grant out there, Brenda Riggins is going to get that grant. You hear me?
There you go.
If
Yeah,
there's a
put that in the air
loan,
now.
yes, that's right. If there's a no interest loan, I'm going to get that free money. I
Good.
don't need it, but you
Mhm.
borrow money when you don't need it.
Right.
Get that line of credit and position yourself for the aftermath.
Yes. And I love when you say that, kind of the aftermath and the prepping of mindset now.
Yes.
And then with, I don't, it's not so much a new normal, but with whatever we evolve into from a
That's
macro level, and
That's
then you drill that down to us personally, Brenda. I love what you said, that mindset, taking time out, taking a step back. And when you say back to the basics, that resonates with me as a former athlete, right? Because athletes at a high level, you know, if I play basketball, so I'll use that as an example. So when I played basketball, if my jump shot was not, I'm shooting the ball and it's not going in the basket. But the first thing that you're taught is to look at the basics of shooting the basketball, right? You don't look at just whether I'm making or missing. You start looking at, okay, do I have the right form? Do I have the right balance? All those type of things. And so when I hear you say that, I make that analogy connection, Brenda, because I think a lot of us personally and professionally have to take that step back and look at, okay, what's the basics of, we have all these cares and all these different things we run around and we do, and social media this and tag that, like this. My favorite show on Netflix is coming on, and the kids this and the spouse
Turn the
that.
TV off. Get
Yeah.
serious about life. Turn that TV off. Stop watching the movies. Do a vision board. Do a new vision board.
Yes.
What do you want from this day going forward? How do you plan to show up to life?
Yeah.
Most folk are not doing right. Sit down and just wrap your brains around the fact that this is a great opportunity to go through a new transformation.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely it is.
Here. Yeah, things are changing. You got to change too. How do you get to choose how you want to change?
Yep, absolutely. It's about pivoting, and you got to be able to recognize and quickly pivot as time change and be able to seize opportunity. So I definitely love that, Brenda. Speaking of opportunity, you recently wrote a book called Pregnant with a Vision of Life's Purpose.
Oh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about the book and, kind of when or where people can find it.
So years ago, I asked, we all at some point in our life asked the question, why am I here? And what am I supposed to do? What is my purpose and all of that? Well, I asked God that question. I said, I don't want to go through this life and not have accomplished my purpose. So I want you to tell me what you had on your mind when you created me. Correct? And so I had a vision, and in the vision, I saw a baby. And the purpose of this baby was to help others give birth to their dreams. Long story short, I tracked the process I went through from the time I asked God the question, why am I here, until the time he gave me an answer, until that purpose was manifested. So the book is about my journey, my relationship with God, and how I went through the process of giving birth to me. Now, it's all centered around character building.
Okay.
It's all centered around character building. So the book has 9 chapters, which represent the 9 stages I went through. It has 3 parts, which represents the 3 trimesters. Those 3 trimesters for me in the book represents the development of my mind, body, and spirit. Because the ultimate goal in life should be about understanding but purpose can have no purpose if there is no peace.
Right.
So we want to make sure we have peace in life. So the book is a 30-year journey of giving birth to me.
And when, I guess, when can we get it? Is it available now, or is it
The
look for
book
it in the
is
future?
available April 15th, and
Okay.
you'll be able to find us everywhere because I'm going to hit the market hard.
There you go.
Vision Surrogate on all social media platforms.
Excellent. And so, with that April 15th date, as Brenda and I were just speaking on MYB Community, that's a great time to get yourself a book, to turn off and deplug from the matrix, kind of media TV and that sort of thing, and get you a book and read it. And so Brenda's right on time with that we can check that out. It's called Pregnant with a Vision of Life's Purpose. That'll be available April the 15th.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep, excellent. And we'll make sure MYB Community that'll be in the show notes, and we'll be in touch with Brenda as well after this podcast. That once that is released, we'll make sure to get the link out to you so that you order. And MYB, when you do order, because some of you are listening to this probably after April 15th, and so the book may be out now. Make sure you go into the link. We will share that. We will put it on the website, and then let Brenda know, communicate with Brenda, let her know that you made your purpose and you heard her right here on the Minding Your Business podcast. And if you guys would do that for me, that would be great. Brenda, you've also traveled some. So
yes,
you and your husband are well traveled. Where are some of the places that you guys have been?
Well, actually, I'm well traveled. Marcus Riggins does not like to travel.
Oh no, Mr. Riggins doesn't like to travel, huh?
He doesn't like to travel, so I have no problems with traveling alone. It's just me and God. So I've been around the world.
Okay.
When I was 27, I'm 62 now.
Okay.
When I was 27, I said I wanted to travel to all 7 continents. I wanted to sail 7 seas, see 7 wonders of the world, and a few other things. And I told God, I said, I want to do all this by the time I'm 50. Well, by the time I was 51, I had done all those things and more. And so, yeah, I've been in many places on this planet.
Yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. Brenda, you talked some too about the farming business there in southern New Jersey. And so what's kind of your kind of long-term purpose for you guys there? Are you looking to expand that? And that's intriguing for me as someone that's done land investing. I'm always interested in kind of the thought on from the farming community.
Yes, my ultimate goal is to have 1,000 acres. Our farm in South Jersey is only 21 acres.
Okay.
It's certified organic, and but life has changed. And what I realized, I found out about a program. And I've had a lot of ex-offenders, in construction working for us. And what I found is that when these guys are released, they really don't have a place to go. So I say, what better place for them to come than a farm?
Yeah.
You get a chance to detox, you get a chance to grow organically. And so we're now, like I said earlier, making the farm into a place where once they release, they can come and live on the farm and get their training and any life skills training that they need, which is going to be provided. I'm partnering with the State Library of New Jersey system, as well as the prison board. They're working with us, and we're hoping to launch this project next month. So now that we've we're in the thick of this particular program, I think it may be something that we may continue throughout, our ventures as we look for other properties to purchase in the farm area. I am also looking to build my own hotel, hopefully in the near future.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the hotel, are you looking for that in that same southern New Jersey area or somewhere else?
No, I have a site in mind that we're
Sure.
trying to secure property in a particular area now,
Okay.
and we have the plans, and so that's where we want to build the hotel once we secure the land.
Yeah. Excellent. So
Mhm.
you definitely have a lot of great things going, Brenda. You and your husband and that sort of thing. So you definitely looks like you're on that track of building that dynasty. Let me ask you this: what if you had to name any one or two things that have really led to your success thus far?
Mhm.
What would those one or two things be?
Focus on purpose, because focus on purpose and how you yourself plan to show up to life each day.
Hmm.
My goal was to show up in such a way that when I lay down at night, I know that, I've made God smile. So it's
Yes.
about values and morals and being ethical. I think that supersedes you in the marketplace.
Yes.
So it has never really been hard for us to get work as far as the construction company is concerned. Having a focus on family. Success is nothing without family.
Yes.
Um, and so to have your family, um, to know that you're doing right by your family, that's a good feeling. And to know that you're doing right by your community, having a holistic plan, not just for you to gain wealth or, to be able to get some nice car or home or whatever, but to help grow your whole community and your family. So just focusing on a complete plan, a holistic plan. It's about having a life plan and not just a business plan, so that you are mindful of everything you do every day.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yep, absolutely. And
that's
so,
good.
with that, Brenda, what advice would you give then to, whether it's aspiring business owners or current business owners? And look, we talked earlier about many of the obstacles that, people are facing, and again, these unprecedented times. What advice would you give to those folks that are just starting out, or, maybe they're concerned about their job, you know, today or going forward? Um, they're concerned about paying bills and saving money and doing things for the kids. They got all these concerns, right?
Mhm.
What kind of advice or good word would you give to those folks?
First of all, I'm gonna give you an affirmation: do today what others will not do, so that you can live tomorrow as others only dream.
Mm,
um, Sit down, take a deep breath, and just breathe.
yes.
uh, do a new vision board with the family, the whole family. And at the top of this vision board, write, keep it simple.
Mm,
Go back to basics and come up with a new plan. Life is not that difficult. We make it difficult because our expectations sometimes are just out of order. They're
sure.
not even too high, they're just out of order.
Mm,
And so, and final word for those who are in business: learn to mind your own business.
mm. Hello. You on the right podcast for that, Brenda.
I know. That's it. Learn to pray. Pray,
There you
people.
go. You got to
Yeah,
be able to connect upwardly. That's for sure.
yes.
Um,
Learn to pray. God is good all the time.
no doubt about it. Our guest today, Brenda L. Hill-Riggins. I have thoroughly enjoyed this, Brenda. Um,
So
thank
have
you
I.
so much for your
Enjoyed it.
time. Thank you for your spirit. Thank you for what you and your husband are doing in the community.
Thank you.
And thank you for your advocacy for family. And I hope, MYB, that this has been very inspirational for you as you're going through whatever you're going through. This shall pass.
That's right.
And you'll be on to the next here in no time. Brenda, how can people connect with you? If people want to, they've got questions or they happen to find themselves in the Miami area and would love to connect professionally, how can they connect with you to do so?
You can reach me at Coach Brenda 1111 at gmail.com.
Excellent.
Or you can call my office 305-278-2122.
All right, outstanding. And what about social media? Are people able to connect with you there as well?
You can reach me at Vision Surrogate on all social media platforms.
Awesome. And there you go. Brenda, listen, I know you're extremely busy. You've got things that you're looking at and definitely within your business and the community. But I thank you so much for being here on our episode number 137. Definitely best wishes personally and professionally to you and your family. And I hope to remain connected. And it's good to know that I have some good folks there in Miami when I happen to make it down there, and that I can look up and say hello to. So
please do so.
yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Brenda. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You.
And
all
right, look forward to speaking here in the future. Brenda L. Hill-Riggins, MYD, here on episode number 137 of the Minding Your Business podcast. And you heard a lot of great things from Brenda around family, around community, and how your business and your professional life need to go back to the basics. I love that quote from her. So I hope that you take something with you from that. Share this podcast with your network, with your friends, and with your family, as they would love to have a good word on this as well. Episode 137 is now in the books. I am so excited that we're continuing to progress along. We are powered by the Binge Podcast Network. I'm your host, Champ Ron. Listen, go have a great day. Remember, social distancing, but not social disregard. Social distancing, but not social disregard. Love your fellow man, love your fellow woman, protect your family, and be intelligent and be smart. Okay, you don't have to be fearful. Don't be anxious for anything, because again, this will pass. But now is a great opportunity. For a lot of you are working from home, doing different things. It's a great opportunity for you to go back to the basics. Champ Ron, the Minding Your Business podcast.
What we do here is go back.
Oh.